All right, welcome back, everyone. This is a special episode. We're gonna talk about how you're gonna get rich, how much money you can make, but more importantly, how we're gonna defeat the evils of this world together. Because this is not just any job. This is a job to fix the problems that we have in society with humans, gambling, short-term investing, day trading, all this fucking shit. And you are gonna get rich helping me rid the world of this evil. Sounds interesting? I have technology for you today that will allow you to make 1% PNL an hour utilizing it. And right now it's manual. Sure, it's manual work, but just around the corner it's gonna get automated. You'll be able to just observe it and just watch it and make sure it does what it's supposed to do, which is generate you money. But there's one rule before we get started in this, which is that you cannot be greedy. If you are greedy, this will not work. Do you understand? There's laws to this trading system, to this methodology, this business. There's laws, and if you violate them, you will get punished. It's a universal law. It's a universal law. I watched over 100,000 people trade now. It's a universal law. If you break these laws, you will lose. So do not break them. Do not break them. It's very important. And these rules I'm talking about is how much money you are allowed to take home when you go out. It's the same with these people that go fishing. I hate it. These greedy people that just go fishing and use these nets and catch all of these juvenile fish, and then they die instead of growing up. It's greed. And if you're greedy about the amount of money that this can provide for you, and you want more than that, and this can make you rich, can make you a millionaire, and you want more than that, this is not for you. I need an army of people, disciplined people that's ready to go to work and use this strategy to change their life and provide everything that they need. And I guarantee you it works. There's already hundreds of people using this. And if you doubt that it's working, you can simply go turn it on and you can look. You can simply go look if it works or not and see how it has performed in the past. Like right here, you can see selling here, buy back here, sell here, buy back here. You can go do this. You can see for your own eyes. This is the most powerful way to extract money in the financial markets. The price is 10% of the profits you make. 10% of the profits you make, you pay to me in Bitcoin for using this technology. If you don't, greed will take it from you. And what are you paying for? You're paying for us to advance the technology to enable even more people to do this. And you're paying for using our technology. You're paying for using our data feed. You're paying for using our servers and all this technology. That's what you're paying for. And if you don't pay it, your soul will burn in hell. Up to you. So now let's get to work. This is a pretty simple and straightforward strategy. Like, there's actually not too much to this. There's not too much you need to think about. There's not too much you need to do. Most of what you need to know about right now is that when you're going in and using this right now, because it's still in a manual stage, you need to do a little bit of work. But it is definitely worth it. 1% PNL an hour is incredible. And you'll be able to do that in 7 to 10 days. I would say, of trading this in demo. Maybe faster, maybe you're advanced, maybe you'll level up quicker, but there's just one rule. You cannot be greedy. You must pay full attention. If you don't follow these rules, it's not gonna work, okay? I need operators. I need people that's straight. So what you need to do is you need to find 1 or 2 hours a day or more, whatever you have available, and clock in during a high liquidity season and go to work, reducing the volatility in the market while extracting money. So you have found an hour of the day, US session, and you can see that down here, you can see where the next session is going to be. You can see down here it says Asia right now, then London, we're going to have New York. So you can see that London is about to open in just a few minutes here. You can see we're already in the kill box, which is the green one here. And yeah, we should see some volatility coming in soon. So that's good to know. You know, we're going to see some movements, and we can start to think about, well, what are these movements going to look like? Well, it could be that USD CHF is going to go up here or something like that, and we'll position ourselves for it so we're ready to make money from these people, the evils of the world. And how do you know what to trade? Well, you simply look at the trend index. And you can find it over here in this tab. It's called Trend Index. You can see that this one just lit up, AUD Singaporean dollar. So we'll go have a look. All right, it looks very interesting. And what you can see here on the right side in the trend index is the 1 second, the 1 minute, the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day time frame. And across all these different frequencies, all these different time frames, we are measuring the current buying and selling activity. The reason we're doing that is because the buyers and sellers are using advanced algorithms to try to buy at the best price possible. And that's because of how the markets work today. You can go look at my previous videos to understand that. So yeah, it's showing you the current active buying and selling algorithms. And what we want is to find markets where the buying and selling algorithms are aligned across all the time frames, because that means whenever the price comes down to us, someone else is getting greedy and making mistakes in the market, they will be selling into us while we have all this active buying algorithms that's going to move the market back up for us. And that's what happens every time you see this, is that someone is selling very aggressively, makes a mistake, sells down here, and then the market bounces, because this current buying algorithm that you can see with the green color is active here, showing that there's a buyer here that's going to push it. And that's really it. That is really it. You can use these different time frames. Most of the business we do is on 1 minute time frame, because that's where we can react the quickest compared to how the market works and reacts. So you can see on 5 minute time frame, you can see, wow, this has actually been doing really well. And as you can see, we have all these different green zones, and these are all the different algorithms that's active, that's buying and active in the market. And all you got to do is really find the green bands that have a good strength, that have a strong strength over here that's aligned, and then put in your orders. And if there's none that's strong and it's not aligned, if they're not above, let's say 15% on each of these time frames, it's probably not really interesting to pay attention to. What we want is something like Euro GBP here, right? You can see it's a strong 1 day and 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 5 minute, 15 minutes on. It's all looking very good, right? That's what we want. So that means you can see how well it has performed here. So that means that we have really strong confidence in this market, and we are happy to short it. But it's not the strongest one. You can see we have another one, USD CAD here. This one has a 47%. And then the driver, the 1 minute and the 5 minute, is not really showing that much right now. But if you actually go look at it, you can see this is actually on the move, right? Very nice. So in this market, we can confidently put up our orders here, 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 and here. And I'll show you this in the next videos, how to put up these orders. But basically, you're putting up orders in these bands, and then as the market comes up, you will get an entry. And then as soon as you have a profit on that trade, you're really just looking to close it. You're not trying to hold this for a directional trade. If you try to turn this into a directional trade where you get an entry and you think it's going to go really, really high, and so you're missing the point. Because that's not what we're trying to do. You will get those trades, but that's not what we're trying to do. We are trying to make money consistently as middlemen. We are not trying to take on risk in which direction it's going to go. So that's why we take a trade, we get out of the trade, then we take another trade, we get out of the trade. We're not staying in the trades trying to predict Bitcoin is going to go from $20,000 to $100,000, right? We're trying to buy Bitcoin at $20,000 and sell it at $20,000, $100. That's it. And if you start to do anything else, then you're not doing the strategy, and that means you are day trading. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up sell orders across this entire field, and we're going to keep our stop loss up here. And people are like, oh, why is the stop loss so far away? Because stop loss is inherently why people lose money. Just because that the market wicks below an entry that you made and so on doesn't mean that the market is invalid. It's just a very messy place where the buying and selling process is messy. So In the strategy, don't try to put your stop loss anywhere else but up here, and preferable even further away. But the further you put this away, the less risk you're going to be able to take. Now, I want to explain a little bit about the dynamics of these markets right now and how they work, because I think there's some people who don't fully understand what's going on when the market behaves like this, right? What causes this and so on. If you watch my video about buy and sells, you understand that there's a fundamental need that needs to be served. And as people have a need, other people get greedy and want to increase the price for what they need to buy because they realize they can make more money. And what happens then is that a buyer is detected, and what happens is that he starts buying. And the more that he's buying, the more that the market makers, which he's buying from, is trying to make him pay at a more expensive price. So you can imagine if he's buying here, then they will sell to him up here, and they will keep moving it up and up until he's finished buying at the most expensive price that they could give him. As soon as that is done, the selling programs just go back to what they were doing before. They're always there running in the background. So whenever you have a deviation like this, what is happening is really that a temporary buying program comes online and outweighs the current amount of flow in sell, the current amount that's being sold in the market. The buying algorithm buys more that's being sold. But as soon as that thing is done, the buying algorithm is done and it turns off, the natural selling algorithms that's active, the long-term active, which is detected by RTD, will come back online and will start to sell this market again. And that's why you have these deviations where the market just fly up and then will turn over, and it happens all the time. Okay, all of this is just deviations. It's just temporary. It's temporary flow of trades or demand that's currently overflowing the existing and constant selling. It's like going against the stream. It's like going against walking up water, right? It's like swimming against the stream. That doesn't work. Now, another thing I want you guys to think about before we really start to executing the strategy is that every time that a band is touched, let's see if we can have a band anyway we can use. Every time a band is touched, that's a beautiful market, huh? Every time a band is touched here, the time that specific band, and remember we have 1 minute, we have 1 minute, we have 5 minutes, we have 15 minutes, we have 1 hour. And each time one of these specific bands is touched, so if it's a 1 minute band, then the bounce from the 1 minute will be faster than if it's a 5 minute band that's being touched, and then will bounce from that. So it's all relative to which band it is. You can see this one down here took a little bit. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slow, but in general, the rule of thumb is that the amount of time it takes for it to bounce when it's touching a band is usually related to which band it is. So if it's a 1 minute band, it'll be quick. And sometimes, of course, the market will just nuke and just go straight through all the bands. I'm sure we have many examples. We can go look, right? Like here, where it just goes straight down or straight up. It's great. And sometimes you will be able to make a lot of money instead of just doing a temporary trade. But don't try to speculate it. Don't try to think too much about making these long-term trades, but you will be blessed with money. Just wait, and then sometimes you'll just get them. It's just gonna happen. So this is manual labor. You gotta get to work here, but you can make like 1% an hour. It's crazy. If you compound, $100,000, 1% a day in a year, that's like $3 million or something. It's absolutely nuts. And the same is true if you have $1,000 or you have $100. You can make a crazy amount of money. You just need to do it every single day. And right now it's manually, but it's you that has a chance to come in to the army, help me extract these profits, make yourself a winner, make yourself rich, make a happy life around you, distribute that wealth to people that deserve it. We're gonna get more technical in the next video about how to actually go about this, but these are some of the core principles you need to understand. You use the trend index to find the strongest markets with the strongest algorithms. That's your market. That's where you go to work. You take that market, you go and you deploy the strategy, and you understand that it's always going to look scary when the market is coming down to your entry, but you just need to let it happen. And especially if it's if it's very deep, like 1 hour and so, you just gotta have faith that this will turn around, because it will. These are fundamental algorithms of the universe. This is a universal law. It's all waves, and we know this. So all these trades The only time you will lose is in a black swan event when this TB will get taken out. I mean, this stop loss will get taken out. So look, get to work, start making money with this because it's incredibly powerful. Go to Navigator, select a strong market, place the orders, keep updating the orders manually to new levels, keep updating the stop loss when it needs to be updated, and then pretty much just go to work. But make sure you choose the strong levels. And remember, if the specific level is not green or red in a strong color, we don't interact with it. We don't buy or sell it, right? We only do it when the strength is there. And it's not always going to be that, right? Remember, there's going to be days where the markets maybe will do nothing, but so far there's always something to do. There's always money to make here. Just take the strong markets. Don't be greedy and go do this. Let's do it. Let's bring world peace, guys. This is what it is. I'll see you around.